Hello everyone, this is Ryan, and I'm going to be reviewing Metro Last Light. So, the game was amazing, it was awesome. I just got done playing it, the credits rolled, I talked a little bit. If you haven't checked out the last video or any of Metro Last Light, please do so before you watch this review. I mean, you still can watch the review if you really like to, just to see my face, and for me to talk about it and talk about a review. And if you're thinking about playing it but you don't want to have it spoiled, you don't want to watch walkthroughs, you don't want to do any of that, I can understand that part. But if you have not checked out some of my stuff, please do it. Anyway, so the good points on Metro Last Light. So the graphics are top of the line. I played this on a PC. It was fantastic. I luckily have a graphics card good enough in order to actually run it. If you don't have a good enough graphics card, I recommend you playing on a Xbox 360 or a PS3. I really wouldn't recommend a PC because you'll need a kind of a powerhouse to do so. The story is magnificent. It's fantastic. I did not play Metro 2033. I do plan to do so at some point. Maybe if the series does well enough, and honestly, for me, for a series to do well, it doesn't have to do that well. I wouldn't mind like even 1,000 couple views maybe. Then I would do it, but who knows? It probably won't reach that. If it does, amazing. I might go and play Metro 23. I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. Again, the story was magnificent. It was cut and dry, really, and it was riveting. I won't spoil it, so I won't talk about it, but it was a really good story. It will interest you, or at least I hope so. The guns are great. There's great selection throughout. Shambler. You can hold a couple guns. I believe you can hold 3 at a time. I know I just got done playing it. And then there's a bunch of other guns you can kind of swap and switch. I didn't like how BioShock Infinite, you only had 2 guns to be able to select from, and you kind of had to pick your poison throughout, whereas Metro Last Light, it doesn't really do that for you. You have 3 guns, you can buy ammo at any time, and you can find ammo plentiful anywhere else you go around, so that is a very good, solid point. The replayability for this game is fantastic. I mean, you're able to find another ending if you want. I got the bad ending, unfortunately. But you can also find a good ending if you do things such as help the woman in the metro and do some other things. I won't spoil it too much again for people that haven't played and they just want to watch a review of this. But there is something where you can go and help a woman and do some other stuff to get a good ending. But remember, you do actually have to kill a couple people, so there's an achievement in there where you do not kill any humans, so you can't get both simultaneously. And then there is solid difficulty for the normal setting in Metro Last Light. I played through it. There's some challenges. I've died a couple times. If you watch my series, you've understood, and you've seen me die, unfortunately. I didn't die too many times. It was enjoyable. It wasn't painful. I know there's a ranger mode included, which ups the difficulty. I'll get into that a little bit later. And then there was great atmospheric music for every setting you went into. The cities that you went through had different music and different tones to it, which was just simply amazing. It was really, really greatly placed. And then when you went into battle scenes even, the music was very good. It was on par with everything you were doing. Even in the cutscenes that you had, the music was phenomenal. And then it was very memorable. Obviously, if you played the game, if you watched me play the game, you would know that you probably will remember this game. At least I know I will. If, let's say, another Metro game did come out, which I don't think that they would. I know there was a book 2034, and Metro Last Light was originally going to be off of Metro 2033 book, but it didn't happen that way. So there is room for a sequel. I haven't read the books either, so I don't really know if there really is room. I would imagine that there is. So if there is a sequel, I will definitely remember Metro Last Light. If I play Metro 2033, I'm sure that I would remember everything that happened in that game on to the next one. Again, I may play it sometime later, so it may answer a few questions that I may have had throughout the game. And then the negatives on Metro Last Light here. So Ranger mode is my biggest negative. Sure, it ups the difficulty. I have not played Ranger mode because it cost me $5 to play Ranger mode. That is outrageous. You're paying $5 for an upped difficulty. I understand DLC and microtransactions for companies. This is a small company that's set in the Ukraine, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, it's not from the United States. and they're charging you for an up to difficulty. I'm sorry, but I want something aesthetic for that. I don't want, I suppose a difficulty would be considered aesthetic because you don't need it. You don't need it to complete the game. But me personally, I'm a completionist, and I want that achievement to have, you know, beat the game in this manner. But I can't do it because I'm not going to fork over $5. I've already forked over the money in order to get the game. I don't want to pay that extra $5 for that thing. But I suppose I'm just complaining about an aesthetic. But I don't like it. I don't think that it should be there. So that is my little negative on that one. And then the second thing was that the AI acts dumb in some stealth aspects. Throughout my playthroughs, as you watch, I'm not very good at stealth stuff. But there's a lot of times where there's something obvious where I'm standing in broad daylight almost, and they're staring right at me, and they're just thinking, what was that? I back up, and then they don't check, and that's it. They just go back on their patrol. I understand, or at least I've understood, that Metro 2033 had a huge issue with the stealth aspects where it was really hardcore, where you really had to be in the dark, and you really had to be quiet, and it was very difficult to maintain that. So I've heard of that, so I heard that they fixed it, but they made it a little bit dumb. So in regards to that, I know it's better to have a game that is less daunting in terms of that, especially if you're playing on normal. For a person like me, where I like to play something on normal and get through that first, I don't want them initially to be extremely rough on you and to find you no matter what. It's annoying, it's unnecessary. For the people that want something like that, they can go into Ranger mode or they can go into hard mode and then have that. That is my personal feeling on that, so I do have that as a negative as far as that goes. And fortunately for Metro Last Light, that's really the only two negatives that I have. I mean, this game was phenomenal. I highly recommend you buy this game. It is worth your money. For most people, I would say get it on Xbox 360 or PS3. I don't know the graphics on those two consoles, how it would kind of handle it. I would assume it would do it well. I know if you have the PC in order to play this game, buy it on PC. It is amazing. The graphics are top notch. And again, those were the only negatives that I had. So now I'm going to give it a score. So Amnesty Gaming as a whole here gives it a 9.5 out of 10. It was a fantastic game. And then the score is based off of a list. And my list, art graphics, it's based off of gameplay. It's based off of storyline. It's based off the difficulty, the audio, the replayability, and the memorability it has. So it's 7 points. Count them. Whoop, 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 whoop. 7 points. And throughout those 7, I just kind of put numbers in together and I mash them and I give it a score. As you've seen throughout some of my other reviews that I've had, sometimes I have Jeremy with me. He helps me out with some games. If you haven't seen those series, please check it out. He's done some Fallout stuff with me and he's doing some other stuff in the future that I'll show later on. So please check that out. It's very fun. He rates with me. He goes based upon his own opinion and my own opinion, and we mash it in together and we give a score. So if you haven't seen some of the other stuff, you'd see the score that we give. Anyway, it's relevant. So anyway, just overall, as far as Metro, just talk a little bit more about it. You can play this game, even if you haven't played Metro 2033, you'd understand it. I mean, I understood this game. I hadn't played 2033. I got the basis of it. It kind of gave you a little bit, I wouldn't say it really didn't give you too much of a background story of the prior game, but it didn't really need to because this went on to a whole nother segment of the Metro, I believe. You're not the same person that you played in Metro 23, I believe. I could be wrong on that, so again, if somebody wants to correct me, please do so. It would be awesome. But I'm pretty sure its Artyom is his own self, not included in 2033. And then also there's DLC included in this game. I heard that there's going to be more. At the time of this recording, it is August 10th, 2013. I heard that there's going to be more DLC. I believe there's a faction is the name of the DLC out right now. I do not have that. I'm thinking about getting it. Again, if my Metro series gets lots of views, some likes, doesn't have to be much. I'm just saying, maybe up to 1,000 views on something. Even if it was the first video, forgot to close my hand there. Even if it's just the first video, I would love it. If, say, 20 likes, that's nothing. So, even 20 likes, and I'll get the DLC pack for you guys, and I'll play through that, and I'll make you enjoy it. I'll do a little bit of review on that one as well, if I get it, so it's just an if. And then, also, lastly here, I mean, the studio is amazing. 4A Studios. And I believe the publisher is Deep Silver. I believe THQ actually went out of business while they were producing this game. And then Deep Silver picked them up, and now they produce this game. This game is amazing. personally, I don't think it receives enough credit. None at all. I mean, I feel as if that it's really, I don't know if it's just the marketing value that they have, or word of mouth just didn't get around, or what, but I mean, this game is really, really good. And I feel as if that nobody really knows about it. Nobody's played it. And so people out there watching, you know, for their sake, this little studio, go on and tell your friends and try to show them these videos even. I mean, it's a great studio. 4A Studios, remember it. So I believe, again, based in Kiev, Ukraine. I could be wrong here. I know it's not in America. I know it's over in Eastern Europe somewhere. And again, I definitely recommend playing this game and kind of spreading it, because this game is fantastic and they deserve everything that they've made. So that's going to wrap it up. As far as my next series, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. Me and Jeremy have actually been doing a little bit of Fear 2 Project Origin, and we'll probably do Fear 3 later on as well. It's his favorite game, so I've been playing that. That will be mixed in with another series that I'm not going to tell you guys about, but I will be posting it very shortly. So please enjoy the next series. Please watch Metro Last Light series if you haven't already watched it. And you guys have a great day.